So we've started with drawing a side. We've put the grooves in here for the top panel and the bottom panel. We've also chamfered one side at 45 degrees. We now need to chamfer the other side at 45 degrees. I'm going to use the same approach. So at the moment I can't see the other end, so I'm going to orbit around the object using the orbit tool, which is O for orbit. And click on here, drag that around, and have a look at the other side. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. Now we're going to use the same approach. We're going to put a guideline on here. So use T for tape measure. I'm going to zoom a bit closer. You don't want to get it from the center. We want to get it sort of halfway. If we go from the center, sometimes it only puts a dot, and we want a line. So from that edge, we're going to click, drag it in, making sure it's on the surface. Type in the number 14 because that's how far it is. And we've now got a guideline. So we're going to draw the line, use the line tool. That's L for line tool. Change to a pencil. I'm going to go from that end to that intersection, back to that corner, back to there. I'm going to zoom out a bit. P for push pull, and push that all the way down to the bottom. Pull up a bit from the top so it's extending past the object in all directions. Now I'm going to triple click and make that a group, and then use that using the trim tool to trim this object here. It's trimmed, and then delete. There we go. We've now got one side with 45-degree chamfers and a groove top and bottom. Note that the groove on the top is slightly different than the bottom. That's because we use a thinner plywood panel on the bottom and a thicker solid timber panel on the top. The next thing we're going to do is to draw the little slots in the ends here for the feathers. And we need to mark them out. Now if you have a look over here, we've got the feather centers here marked up at 18 up, 27, 30 and 18 down. So we can mark those out. So we're going to use the tape measure tool. T for tape measure. Click on this bottom edge here. I need to zoom a bit closer. Click there, go up, and we're going to type 18. We're going to go up again, 27. See, I'm actually referencing that from the last line, not back at the beginning here again. So this is 18, then from there 27. Then I'm going to go up 30. The reason we're going up 30 instead of 27 is that we're actually going to cut this box in half once we've made it to form the lid, and we'll lose 3 millimeters between this point and this point, this feather. And so with that 3 millimeters gone, it will then equal the same distance. It'll be 27 again. And we're also going to come down 18 from the top. Something went wrong there, didn't it? No, that's right. There's supposed to be 3. That's correct. So that should be 18 from the top. That's correct. Okay, now we've got the center point, but when we draw a rectangle, we're not going to draw a center. So we need to create a line above that to actually draw our line from. So we're going to use T tool again, T for tape measure. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to come up 1.5 millimeters. Same again here, 1.5 and 1.5. Because these little grooves that we're going to draw are going to be 3 millimeters, and that means 1.5 millimeters each side of the center. So we're going to press R for rectangle. We're going to click on there. We're going to come down. We're not going to go all the way into the to this point here. We're going to go a little bit less than that. Okay, so we're going to draw that. We're going to go down 3 millimeters. So that's 3, 16 enter. Now, you'll notice that I've drawn that and the object's not in edit mode. No, that's no good. So I'm going to have to undo that. So Command Z, and I need to double click on that to open it in edit mode, otherwise this won't work. So we'll do that again. Go back to that point there, come down. And we're going to type in 3,16, enter. And if we push this through, we'll come out the other side. We can do the same the next one down. So R for rectangle, click on there, move it around so it's on that face, type in the numbers 3,16, and we'll go to the bottom there again, click, drag, (3, 16), push pull. When you push it, make sure you push it well and truly past the back so you can see it all. And when we use the orbit tool around in the back, you'll notice they go past the ends. Now, the thing is, if I was to use the raising tool now and click that, it will actually destroy these components, all these bits in the middle. So to isolate that so I can actually cut it off, we're going to draw some lines along the demarcation or the surface intersection from there to there, from there through to there, from that back corner to this front corner, on the top there and also on the bottom, using the line tool. You'll notice a little X indicating it's the intersection, and we're also going to do that around the back. So zoom in, zoom out and zoom in, and we're going to draw a line from that top surface there. Now what this does is it separates that object from the rest of the object that we've drawn, so that now when we actually erase these bits here, and they'll disappear. That's using E for erase. And when I actually do that, you notice it goes all the way through. And now if we didn't draw those lines, however, when we erase this, we'd actually lose part of the inside of that actual component, and it would look broken, which we don't want to happen. So these lines that we've drawn separate them from the main part, and we can then delete them. Continue on doing that one. And once we've done that, we need to do that at the other end as well. So just to recap, the measurements that we used were 3 millimeters wide, 16 millimeters long. Now, because these have been pushed through perpendicular, when the second component comes to join that, they actually will line up very comfortably. I'm going to go through and do the rest. I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to redo this end. Okay, and we're going to come back when that's finished.